Hi, today I would like to give you our Japanese first reactions, the latest situation of Japanese politics, especially the election, which will be held early October. The election for the new leader of ruling party, Liberal Democratic Party. Because as you know, Shigeru Ishiba, the current Prime Minister of Japan, and also the leader of ruling party, Liberal Democratic Party, has announced that he is going to step down as soon as possible. And after stepping down, there will be internal election among Liberal Democratic Party's all members. So total like about 300 members across the nationwide in Japan. And then the next leader of the ruling party will be the Prime Minister of Japan. So now, Japanese people have been paying the biggest attention who will be the next leader of the ruling party, meaning who will be the Prime Minister of Japan. So, and until then, until today, until I found this article, everybody had thought that it would be either Shinjiro Koizumi or Sanae Takaichi, the female veteran 64 years old politician from Liberal Democratic Party, or 44 years old, young, energetic, and the current Minister of Agriculture, who made a successful action plan to improve the confusion of rice price. And also, the second son, the younger son of former Prime Minister of Japan, who had the biggest popularity in his performance for the entire Japanese Prime Minister history. So his father is Junichiro Koizumi, so who was the Prime Minister in the past. So, and then, due to his good-looking appearance, there are many fans. Even though he got married with a former popular female TV talent, and also the announcer. So he has been very, very popular and very, very famous and very, very, and young, like I said, much, much younger than the average Japanese politicians. So that's why many people thought that he would be very strong candidate to win the internal election of the Liberal Democratic Party. And the announcement that Shigeru Ishiba made, that he said he would step down from the lead up his position as Prime Minister and also the leader of the Liberal Democratic Party was like 1 week ago. And then, since then, several politicians in the Liberal Democratic Party, several politicians have announced their nominations to run the election. So we have so far, for example, Mr. Motegi, the former chief strategist into the Liberal Democratic Party, and Mr. Hayashi, also the current the chief strategist of the current government, and also, like explained, Sanae Takaichi, a female veteran, 64 years old, an energetic and popular female politician from the Liberal Democratic Party, and Mr. Kobayashi, another young, 50 years old. 50 years old seems to be like Koizumi, much younger than the average of the age of the Japanese politician. And he is also very, and looks like very energetic, young candidate. So we have so far 4 candidates. The four of them we had so far are the same candidate that they actually dominated the internal election for then to decide the new leader of the Liberal Democratic Party. And the previous election, as you can imagine, Mr. Ishiba, Shigeru Ishiba won the election, won the voting. So in the internal voting, and he became, as you know, the prime minister and the leader of the Liberal Democratic Party, ruling party. And then, like I explained, it has been 1 week since his announcement of his retirement. However, we haven't heard any comment, any announcement, any motivation, and any rumor, or even rumor that Shinjiro Koizumi would raise his hand as to become the candidate of the election. It is actually surprising. So many people believed that he would nominate himself as the next leader, and everybody thought that it would be either him or Sanae Takaichi. So that's why many people have been surprised that fact that he hasn't raised his hand to nominate himself. But there has been another rumor that maybe this time he is not going to be nominated himself. He wouldn't run the election this time. And also, the previous election, he raised his hand and he nominated himself to the election, even though he couldn't become the leader of the Liberal Democratic Party. However, this time, everybody thought he should and she should be and he would be the strongest candidate. However, he hasn't yet. So the rumor I said, currently, he has been silent. Because, first of all, he was the one who successfully persuaded the Mr. Ishiba to make his resignation. So he was the last person to discuss face-to-face meeting over 1 hour to persuade Mr. Ishiba to step down from the leader's position. So that's why. And also, he has been, and he still is, the cabinet member of the current government. So that's why he may be thinking that he wouldn't be deserved this position, because he was the one who persuaded him, and he is in the cabinet member. And maybe personally, I'm thinking that maybe he may be thinking that the timing would not be the best for him to be the prime minister, because actually the ruling party itself has been criticized by so many people, and they have been losing their popularity, even though they are still the biggest party and they still have the biggest, the more seats than any other political groups. However, currently they do not have a majority. That's the fact. So they have to have the partner, but they have to have the partnership with the smaller other political groups, which is Koumei group. And without Koumei group, they couldn't run any Congress, any politics in Japan. So, and then the previous national election that we selected, the House 128 seats for the House of Councillors. So the ruling party couldn't make the majority. So, and many people said, including experts said, this is the end of the era, and the new era. Just we will have had the new wave of the new politics. Maybe all the conventional political groups like Liberal Democratic Party, the current ruling party, has seen their end of the day. So that's why maybe Shinjiro Koizumi is now thinking that it would not be the best timing for him to be the leader of the ruling party, because there are so many against the wind. There's a big wind against them, blowing from everywhere. And he's still young. Like I said, he is just 44 years old. So he has, bigger future, and he can wait until the best timing when people again become to like the ruling party, and the environment has been improving. If when the environment has been improving, and every people again to be supporter of the ruling party, that's the best timing. That will be the best timing for him to be the leader of Japan and leader of the the president, prime minister of Japan. So maybe this time it is not a good time for him. Maybe he thinks so. If he is very, very smart, he is very, very smart. This is my just personal opinion though. If he is very, very smart, he should wait the best timing. And then maybe he is thinking that he should wait. And he should skip this timing. Even though it would be sure, it would be sure that 100% he will be able to become Prime Minister of Japan, but timing is very, very bad. So we will see the consequence, who will be the next Prime Minister of Japan. But it has been so complicated, and it has been really confusion.